All right, Larry Krueger here at Levi Stadium on a Thursday for the Pig and a Pickle Krug show with a little 49er video as we recap everything that happened down here on a Thursday in 49er land. Niners getting ready to take on and check out Pig and a Pickle, two locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. We'll be there on December 7th during the bye week for a meet and greet throughout the December 7th day. It's the bye week, week 14. Niners will not be playing, but I'll be at Pig and a Pickle, and I'd love to see you there. So stop by, say hello, have some brisket chili, drink a beer, maybe have a soda, whatever. We'll just hang out and chop it up and talk some ball. So looking forward to that. That's coming up on December the 7th. All right, what happened down here today? Well, first on the Arizona side, not practicing today. Josh Sweat, for no reason given. Will Johnson, Jonah Williams, Baron Browning, and Dadrian Taylor Demerson all not practicing today. That doesn't mean they're not going to play, but they didn't practice earlier today in Arizona. As far as the Niners were concerned, Brock Purdy did practice, and he's going to start this game. We talked to Brock after practice. He says he's feeling better, the toe's feeling better. He's ready to get out there and do his thing. So Purdy will be starting at quarterback for the 49ers. Now, if also today back at practice, Ricky Pearsall was a full go. And Pearsall is going to play in this game as well. So that's good news as well for the 49ers. Pearsall was back. Purdy was back. Everybody who yesterday was limited, and that would include Purdy, Pearsall, Winters, and Collins, all practiced today. So you had the full bore at practice today. Where did the Niners miss Brock Purdy the most? I would say, it's the explosive pass game. It's the down the field passing game. It's the throws of 20-plus yards down the field. Purdy in this area last year was ranked number 5 in the NFL. Jones this year is ranked 19th in that category. So that's a big difference. Brock Purdy challenges down the field. He'll throw the ball down the field. He attacks down the field. Where Jones takes what is given to him a little bit underneath and doesn't drive it down the field as much. Now, Jones also didn't have Ricky Pearsall. Pearsall's got 4.4 speed, and he's a big part of their down the field passing attack. The Niners enter this game as the 8th seed in the NFC, and there is no 8th seed in the playoffs. So they're currently out of the playoffs on the outside looking in. 49ers are a game and a half behind both Seattle and the Rams in the NFC West. Couple other notes, and we should also tell you that, in addition to being brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, we should tell you that these 49er practice reports this season are brought to you by our friends at Plank, the 50,000 square foot entertainment eatery at Jack London Square in Oakland. Plank just opened the Hub, a brand new sports viewing space with a massive 30-foot media wall. They've got over 70 TVs. It's the ultimate spot to watch every game. They've got great food, specialty cocktails, huge 15,000 square foot outdoor beer garden, which is really cool. They got about 35 different beers on tap. Really a cool spot. They've got 12 lanes of bowling, bocce, there's arcade games, and right now, if you're a Krug Show listener, you get 15% off bowling, games, food, and non-alcoholic drinks through November 30th. Just mention that I sent you when you go in there. Also, perfect place to host your holiday party this year, whether it's for friends, family, or your team at work. So check them out. Their website is plankoakland.com. Once again, that's plankoakland.com. All right, couple other notes I thought were interesting. Steve Young went on KMBR and said that, he didn't want to weigh in on Jones versus Purdy, but he just said he really misses watching Purdy play. And I think he said, I miss his grit. And I think if there is, Steve's always so great at just kind of pointing out key things. I think that is kind of what the Niners miss with Brock Purdy is not that Jones is not a gritty player. He is a gritty player. But I think they just miss that extra grit of what Purdy brings to the table. He's just a very gritty football player. And it'll be good to see him back out there for sure. Bleacher Report had an interesting question today. Which player will be the breakout player for every team in the league? And for the Niners, they went with Keion White. And I thought that was interesting. Against the Rams, Keion White had half a sack. He had a tackle. He had a hit on the quarterback. He looked really good. So according to Bleacher Report, they think Keion White could have a big breakout second half, which would be absolutely music to the ears of Robert Saleh if that could happen. Earlier today, John Lynch stopped by on KMBR and on the morning show with Murph and Marcus. Said that Spencer Burford and Ben Barch are likely to share that left guard spot, at least in the foreseeable future. Lynch said that the Niners did not play up to their standard last week against the Rams and said they need to learn from that. He also said that he said, they're not really listening to the people who are like, stay with Mac. Tom Brady said it. Richard Sherman said it. A number of people have said, hey, the Niners ought to stay with Mac. He said, hey, look, we got a process. We got a whole thing going on here. We're aware of what's going on. It's kind of the noise around the sport. It's okay that these people are saying these things, but we're not listening to it. And we like our process, and they feel very confident in putting Brock Purdy out there. In addition to that, Lynch really talked up the Niners quarterback room and said that Adrian Martinez, really talked up Adrian Martinez. I think the Niners really like what they have in Martinez, who's a great kid, very athletic. I'm eager to see what Martinez looks like when he gets his opportunity. Lynch also stated that the Niners, that Brandon Ayuk coming back, that, we're not there yet. He said it's still a process. It's been nearly 1 calendar year since the surgery, and it was a major surgery. Lynch described the injury as catastrophic. So, there's no question that their mindset is that Ayuk's going to play this year, but right now they have no time frame for his return. And then Lynch talked a little bit about the Cardinals, called them a well-coached team that's good on defense, good on special teams. Jacoby Brissett is a player the Niners have gone against before, and if you don't get pressure on Brissett, he can beat you. Lynch also said that Ricky Pearsall gives the Niners, some speed and some explosion in the pass game. And that's kind of the point. I mean, they really didn't have that speed and explosion without him. So it's a huge thing to get him back on the field. As far as Ayuk, he tore 3 ligaments in that knee, and it was October 20th of 2024 against Kansas City when he suffered the injury. So, I was looking at a thing that Dave Lombardi put out, and he had it down as the time frame to heal as about 12 to 18 months, and that sounds reasonable. I've never really seen anybody list the time frame for a 3 ligament knee tear and what it would take, but Dave's estimating that doctors think between 12 to 18 months. Well, if that's the case, then we're just at 12 months now. So since the surgery, he heard it in October, but he didn't have the surgery till November. So we're right about 1 year out from that surgery. So the idea that he was going to play in week 1 was just preposterous. And, the reality is that he may not play at all this year. So, it kind of tells you that week 1 story was kind of a fabrication, but whatever, that's besides the point. Very interesting, though, in that Ayuk, there's a lot of enthusiasm about Ayuk coming back. They seem to be enthusiastic, but it doesn't sound like, if you said to me, when do you think he's coming back? I would say maybe the last week of the year, and maybe not even. Maybe he doesn't get back this year. So I think the Niners are smart to take the long-range view with the Ayuk injury. We should tell you this 49er football season is presented by Sleeper, the fastest-growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use promo code Larry, and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. All right, that does it for our recap. Thanks to Sleeper. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Plank for sponsoring these 49er reports. And thanks to you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.